Hello everyone, as promised last week, I'm back again with a video that's going to help you save your succulents. So basically, sometimes succulents die because you haven't taken good care of them or you're just new with them. I have an example with you for you here in front of me, which is of a succulent, which is some sort of a sedum, but I do not know the name of this one. So let's see how we can save it. So basically what I did with the mother plant, unfortunately, was that I placed it in a highly compact soil that did not have enough drainage holes or big enough drainage holes. So what I did was I took a desi ghee or purified ghee box, empty container. I used an expired nail polish to kind of paint it, and I felt really inspired, and I thought, it's going to be a good planter for a succulent. The colors look vibrant, but unfortunately I did not think through the entire process about drainage, and it resulted in this beautiful lush plant becoming so sad and dry. So I'm going to help you understand as to what to do when this kind of things happen to you. So last week we understood how we can use an egg shelf or an egg tray for basically a propagation tray. These are my sorts of ideal trays. They're free. 1, 2, they're eco-friendly because you're reducing garbage. They're all made out of cardboard. And 3, because they're just wonderful. They absorb a lot of water, and if you accidentally end up overwatering your succulent in this, by the end of the day, because it's so hot in Lahore most of the year around, it's going to cope with it. So there's no, because when you use plastic trays, what really happens is you need to be very careful with it, because they can lead to a lot of water retention. So water stays in and it's going to rot your succulents, because water is your succulents' enemy if you overwater. So yeah, succulents are beautiful, they look very fragile, yet they're very hardy if you do not overwater them. Okay, so what we're going to do is that we're going to look at our plant and individually see where you see roots forming. So I see roots forming over here in this plant. So what I'm going to do is, since there's like a mother plant, I'm going to use that spoon that I showed you last week, so I did not throw it away. And I'm trying to scoop it out and see as to if it comes off. Yeah, it did. Oh, okay, excellent. So what has really happened is that due to water logging, all the roots at the bottom have gone. So what the plant really does is, in order to survive, because trust me, nobody wants to die, your succulents even don't want to die, they've started off giving these small roots. So wherever you see these small roots, what you do is you clip the succulent off from there. So this is what I did. They come off easily. You don't need like necessarily scissors for this, but if you're like a person who's very tedious and tidy, you can use that. So what I'm doing is that I'm gently poking a hole in the soil, and I am taking my sedum like succulent and resting the roots in there. So this is something that you get, and you repeat the process with other plants too. I have another one over here as an example. So what you do is that you gently place it here, use your finger to make a small hole, kind of press the root part in and let the leaves stay outside. I'm sorry, my videos are moving a lot. I'm new at this and I'm trying to figure out as to how to prevent this from happening. So yeah, so this is what you repeat with all of these, and this pot mix which I added over here, the soil over here, is not very well watered, and is not watered at all. I did not water this soil. I prepared this soil almost a month ago and I haven't like really watered it. Only some occasional rain where the sack is resting out in my garden is where they get some water from. So I will water it now, and I would say, like last time, that you use a spray bottle, which is my ironing cloth bottle as well, to kind of give some water to this plant. So I'm going to water it for you. 1 squeeze, 2 squeeze, that's more than enough. 1 squeeze and 2 squeeze, that's more than enough for today. So I can't give you an exact number of how many days it's going to take, but within a week you will be able to tell if the succulent makes it alive. Because if it's dying, it will look something like this, like a wilted twig. These parts are alive, which I will later save because otherwise the video will get unnecessarily long. So if it's dying, it's going to turn this color of brown. So yeah, that's that. and you'll be able to tell if your succulents have survived, and you'll be easily able to recognize. And now let's talk about watering and sunlight. You need a spot that is not too intense in terms of sunlight, but you need some sunlight too. So for the moment, while they're in this tray, let's call this an ICU tray, because they're in an intensive care unit right now, because we're saving them. So don't give them a lot of light, give them indirect light for almost a month and see how they're doing. Water them only when you feel the top soil is really dry, because this block only has a teaspoon of soil, or maximum a tablespoonful of soil. So it's going to tell you when it's dry. You'll see it dry. You can feel, you can just you test the soil and see. If you feel moisture in this mixture, do not water it. If you feel it's very dry, you can feel the dryness on your fingertips, you know when to water it. So there we go. For today we learned how to save a dying succulent, and this does not go for all succulents, because all succulents aren't like this miniature sedum like succulent that give off roots. Some succulent behave differently. So as I get plants, hopefully I won't be killing them, but as I get examples, I'll be showing you various different videos as to how to save which plants in which ways, and then we'll go with the flow and we'll go easily, because my promise to you is that I'm not going to be very technical with all of these names, or I'm not going to ask you to buy very super expensive sort of plants and all. We're going to do it on the budget, and we're going to make it simple so everyone can learn how to grow, propagate and appreciate these beautiful plants in their home, which are called succulents. And as I promised, I remember we will do something on cactuses as well. So for now, take care and have a lovely day or weekend whenever you're watching this video. Bye bye.